South Africa lose their second tri-series game. It was the match against New Zealand, and it was very underwhelming. I didn't really enjoy the game that much, to be honest with you. They gave us a little bit of hope at first, but then hope was all gone, and South Africa ended up losing quite comfortably, actually. Players getting starts, but not taking the team over the line. The same with the bowlers getting us good starts, but they're not finishing things off, not being ruthless and lethal enough at the back end or the second half of the match. So they played really well in the first half. In the second half, they didn't come to the party in the first innings. And then similarly to the second innings, with South Africa batting, of course, started off, got good starts, but couldn't get ourselves major milestones to get us over the line. So got comfortably beaten by New Zealand, and it's kind of a wake up call, I would say, from a management perspective, from a South African perspective, because this was against a very strong New Zealand team, and it shows us where we are and where we stand when it comes to our level in this particular format. So it's going to be a very quick stream because I'm really annoyed and irritated with the performance. So I'm just going to give you guys a quick summary of everything and read some of your comments, and then I'll leave you. So before we get going, before we get started, subscribe to the channel. Please click that notification bell for all future videos. Very important that you guys do so. Smash the like button, comment, and share. And don't forget to also comment when we've ended the stream. It's very important that you guys get involved with the comment section. That's how our videos get into the recommended feeds that we need on YouTube to stay relevant and to stay alive here at Cricket Fanatics. So please get involved with the comment section as well. Also, download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Evening, everybody. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about the Tri-Series, South Africa's second match, losing to New Zealand by 21 runs. And the game, pretty straightforward. I'm not going to get into it too much today, guys. I'm obviously clearly annoyed with the performance. I didn't really enjoy the match as a whole. Even though it did start off quite well for South Africa with the bowlers, I have to say at least we had New Zealand down 70 for 5 after 9.3 overs. And I thought that we would have been able to finish this game off. I mean, the problem over here that I have with this game and this performance is that we had them in a decent position. We had them in a position to be able to be cutthroat and to go for the to go for the kill. And in the end, we just, I guess, we were just lackluster in the end. I mean, we didn't get over the line. Some people would say other things to use other words to describe it. I don't think I'm going to do that right now. But from 70 for 5 in with half the innings done, you should be getting a team out for a low total. But Tim Robinson took the game away from South Africa, 75 of 57, 6 fours and 3 sixes. He took the game away from South Africa. And Bevan Jacobs, we allowed him to score 44 of 30 balls, 1 4 and 3 sixes, a strike rate of 146.66. And ultimately, that was the partnership, and that was the performances that took South Africa out of the game. When I saw 173 on the board, it wasn't really showering me with confidence or filling me up with any confidence. I was said it's going to be a tough chase, and a tough chase it was. South Africa. Oh, let me before I get into the chase, you have to mention Quinn Mapaka did decently, 2 for 38, but that economy rate is a problem with five wides. The extras is for me is a problem. Quena needs to find these rhythm, lines, lengths, consistencies, etc. It's something that he needs to do. It's great that he's taking wickets, that he took wickets today, but he needs to find a way on how to bowl regular line and lengths. It will only help him in all formats, not only in Test cricket, but in 50 over cricket as well. And he needs to find a way to do that. At the moment, he's bowling. I think he's bowling reasonably well for this format. But if he really wants to be an all format player, I think he'd do a lot better if he finds regular, consistent lines and lengths. The next best bowler would probably have to be Senator Mutasami, 1 for 19, most economical today, 4 for 75. With a ball today, though. I'm going to stress that. Senaran was good with the ball today. We'll talk about his batting a little later. Jero Kutsia took a wicket, but was very expensive, 1 for 39. Lungingidi, 1 for 28. He was decent, but also very expensive. But 173 for 5 was a big ask for South Africa. We went out to bat and we got off to a brilliant start, and I was getting pretty excited watching Luandre Pretorius play with freedom and authority. 27 of 17, 6 fours, strike rate of 158. And I was sitting there, I was like, come on, Luandre. I mean, after that duck in the first game, this is the team to show people that you are really extremely talented and you can take your game to the next level. It's a brilliant start, loses his wicket. And loses his wicket quite cheaply too, because he was striking the ball quite well. So it was a little bit of a shock to me that he tried to do a deft touch at that particular time when he was seeing the ball so well. Okay, maybe perhaps that shot was the right shot for that particular ball, but it ended up being his downfall and he came it off to the keeper. Riza Hendricks, again, similarly to the first game, gets two good boundaries, looks like $1,000,000 getting those two boundaries, and then loses his wicket, 16 of 12. Bowled by Santner, like not just bowled, but like ugly bowled. Like he was completely tied up. It looked terrible. Actually, the wicket looked terrible. So it's unfortunate that we get that when we do perform poor or badly, and when certain batters do perform badly and they end up losing their wickets and looking really bad, and that's a problem, I feel, because Riza Hendricks at the moment, my assessment of him, I'm a big fan of him as a personality, as a cricketer, as a human being, and the way he is. My problem with him, even though he is South Africa's best T20 player ever when it comes to the stats, my issue is the consistency. He goes on runs and then dips, So it's almost like he's running in a place full of hills. Running on a flat road, gets a couple of half century, and he's up that hill, and it takes a while for him to get back into form, and then bam, a lot of cluster of runs again, and then back up that hill again, and then another cluster of runs. He scores his half centuries in clumps. And I think he's in a bad patch of form. And it was a good delivery from Santner, but I would expect someone like Riza Hendricks of his caliber to be able to deal with a delivery like that and to expect it and see it coming. But that wasn't the case. And then Ruben Herman went out for 1. I have questions about Senator Mutasami coming in at 4. I did not understand that decision. And he didn't look really good at the crease either. He didn't look like he belonged there. So I was a little bit concerned about that, because when you still have Rassi in your team, at that stage of the match, you've got 6.2 overs gone. Wouldn't you want someone like Rassi van der Dussen to face as many balls as possible? And yes, it might have ended up that way anyway, because because Senaran didn't face a lot of balls. But still, you wouldn't know that when the batter is walking out to the middle. So for me, you need to give Rassie as many balls as possible. I mean, I would even contemplate opening up with Rassie van der Dussen in this format, um, because Rassie does take some time to get going. We know that, and he gets run out. Unfortunately, it was an unfortunate one. It's a brilliant piece of fielding from Mitch Santner. So that is something, um, that you can't really blame the batter really for. I do not. I didn't like the fact that he hesitated though when Dewald did call the run. Dewald sprinted through, and then he hesitated a bit. And if he didn't hesitate, obviously he would have been safe, I feel. But it was a very good piece of fielding by Santner. I mean, Rassie didn't think he was out. Actually, he was quite shocked that Mitch actually got that run out. The only thing that we can really talk about from a South African batting perspective is Dewald Brevis and George Linder. They showed flashes of brilliance. I mean, Dewald Brevis was 35 of 18, 1 4 and 3 sixes, a strike rate of 194 again. I like the intent. And I can't criticize Dewald too much because he's batting with the right intent. He just lost his wicket doing so, continuing to play. So maybe the match situation, reading the match situation better might be one tip or one thing he can improve on. But Brevis is starting to really look comfortable with his game. It's just about finding that consistency now, when getting starts, turning them into milestones. George Linder showed flashes too, some massive sixes out the ground, 2 6s and a 4, 30 of 20, strike rate of 150. Very good. Very good performance from him. And he gave South Africa hope. I'm not going to lie. I thought that at the 148 in the 13.1 overs, you would think South Africa would be able to get over the line. And that's the type of things that we need George Linder to do. The age that he's at, the experience that he has, the position that he's batting in. Yes, it was a good innings, but you expect players of his caliber to be able to take the team over the line when you're in that situation. So yes, great for the 30 of 20, but disappointing that he couldn't finish it off. And that's my biggest disappointment here, is that we got good starts and we set ourselves up for victory and we just couldn't get over the line, both with the ball and with the bat. We kind of let everything just slip out of our fingers and out of our hands. So that's my biggest gripe with this team today and my biggest disappointment, because we were bowled out for 152 and we ended up losing by 21 runs. And that is something that I can't be positive about. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I can't be. It wasn't the best of performances at all. And when it comes to the bowling as well, I mean, we again 16 extras, 3 leg byes, 13 wides. It's just unacceptable. We can't still be being this expensive, because I mean, we've been seeing this as a trend in T20 cricket for South Africa now. We bowl a lot of extras and we give a team unnecessary extra runs that can be prevented. So yeah, overall, very underwhelming game. I'm very disappointed with the game. New Zealand in the end deserved winners because 2 players stepped up and took the game away from South Africa. Yeah, so that's my review of the match. I don't really have much else to say, guys, but I'll read some of your comments. Craig says, good wake-up call for all the boys and management. They had it all our own way for a while, so matches like this will help us going forward. Safa says, what a disappointment. The batting approach of the team has really shocked me. Also, what was that from Dewald? The team was already in a dire situation and it needed a partnership, not recklessness. Safa says, Dewald seriously lacks game awareness and also to play responsibility. The team was already ahead of New Zealand and there was no need for every ball to go for 4 or 6. Justin says Shukri's fault he can't go into the series with five batters. He can still add Donovan Ferreira. Taim says most sad moment was Brevis getting out despite hitting the balls elegantly and cleanly. He surely needs to calm down. Sarfaz says also, what was the decision from Coach Shukri to send Mutasami at number 4? I would have been better if to send Dewald or Rassi for that balls wouldn't have been wasted. Why? Taim says why Bretsky is dropped for T20 side. He can be a good replacement for Riza, who has not been performing. What could be the reason? I have to give more chances to the youngsters. Time says, I know Bretsky has not performed, but still needs to give him an extended run as an opener. Justin says, why did the batting lineup change? Do they see Brevis as a finisher now? I hope not. So he should bat much higher. I agree with that. I think Brevis should bat higher. Sarfa says Luandre is another batter that disappointed me. He opened the innings really well, but when he played that shot, why did he guide the ball to the keeper? Exactly my point. Daim says Seneran at 4 looks mad ahead of Brevis' poor decision. Justin says Brevis needs to come in earlier so that the other batters can have that luxury to play without risk. The evil Jabberwocky 1605 says, I think the whole game was giving people chances. Linda would have normally had more overs. Mutasami at 4 was not normal. And the two guys who had a start were the young guys, Brevis and Pretorius, got out because of inexperience. Experience will teach them you can hit every ball. You can't hit every ball for 6. Sharaj Campbell says, what Deadwoods like Riza Hendricks Rassi doing in this team instead of the Matthew Bretsky, Donovan Ferreira should have been the man. They are the future, Donovan Ferreira. You gas up Donovan Ferreira a hell of a lot. He's been given quite a few chances and hasn't performed for South Africa. And even for his franchises and stuff, he hasn't been consistent. So I know you want to gas him up like that, but yeah, you need to be fair with your belief. I can understand if you want if you are complaining about other players, perhaps maybe, but to push Donovan Ferreira this hard, like you are doing here, I think is not. It's disingenuous. Hendricks, I can agree, he hasn't been good. I think that for this series, though, they were focusing on Riza and Rassi, adding that experience to the side to try and help the other players. But my problem is here that they need to then perform. Rassi and Riza need to perform so that they can lead by example and not just with their mouths in this particular setup. Justin says, I'm still surprised of selection of Herman. I see him more as an ODI player. Suraj Campbell says, Donovan Reed is the guy who can fill the place. Retired legendary player Andy Klaassen and legendary finisher David Miller. Suraj says, after consistently performing in SA20, Delano Potgieter deserves opportunities. He's a very handy all-rounder in T20 format. Delano is someone that you could throw in the mix as well. PBG3 says, extras are a big problem in all formats. It's time to introduce the Ray Jennings method, where if you bowl a no ball, you have to complete the extra round of ground. It seems rude, but worked in 2007. Mutasami says, Mutasami is not a number 4 batter. Poor decision, says PBG3. Justin says, Rob is now happy. Why would Rob? Why? Amit says, nice jersey behind SA young batters will learn. They are lacking experience. Amit Ganguly says, New Zealand is a world-class side. It ain't easy to beat them. It's not about being easy to beat them. My point is, you've got them in a position, you've got them by the throats twice in this match. And the pressure's on, and then you just, release the pressure. We need to try and be more ruthless in this format. This format particularly irritates me because there's so many times now that I've seen this team get themselves into winning positions and they end up losing matches. So Coach Shukri has a hell of a lot of work to do, and I can't blame Coach Shukri yet. It's his second game as a coach of T20 cricket. It's going to take a while to change that mentality and work that ruthlessness into the team and into his players. So we need to be patient with regards to that. But my gripe is more with the players in this particular situation, because how many times are they going to get themselves into winning positions and then end up losing the game? The World Cup was a prime example of that, man. Flipping out 30 of 30 balls. How do you end up losing a World Cup final like that? And you have in batter. That's my thing. You got batters that are in. It's not like you have a new batter at the crease. So yeah, that's something that annoys me. Lodrick says poor death bowling Costas. Sarfa says, but Amit Ganguly, that target was chaseable. It was. Justin says it's too late and a batter to add. Is it too late to add the batter to squad? It is too late. Um, yeah, squad is fixed. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm sick of talking about this, so I'm sorry I'm gonna leave. But thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos, please. Very important to you to do so that you know exactly when we go live. I would also like you guys to please comment in the comment section after we've ended the stream. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you again after the next match with another review show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace out.